Okay, so we're gonna start with our clay mat, and then you will get your piece of clay. We do want to throw it down to kind of make it into a ball. And the reason that is a good idea is it helps get the air bubbles out, as well as it preps it for our work here. So I'm kind of making a ball as best as I can. And then I'm going to shape it with my hands, again, making that ball. Then I'm going to stick my thumb into the clay. You can see I'm doing that. You want to go almost to the bottom, but you want to leave about a ½ inch at this side. And then I'm going to start squeezing the clay and turning. And I want to keep just one thumb in there because I want to grow the clay tall, not wide. So this is getting taller, coming up. I don't want it to go outside to side. So take your time to do that. If you're not sure how thick it is, you can kind of push it onto your mat, and I can see that it's a little thicker than a ½ inch, so I'm going to pull up some more. And again, I'm pulling up to make that vertical. If the edges start getting a little bit uneven, I kind of just gently tap it to kind of even that back out. And then I'm going to make sure I'm going up. I don't want to crush the opening that's in there, and make sure it's nice and vertical. I'm just forming it with my hand as I go around. And then when you think you're ready and you have a nice tall owl body shape, kind of like this, we're gonna pull the ears. So you're gonna just take the clay and pinch it, one on each side, to be the ears of your owl. And you can squeeze the other direction as well to get those to grow up to make an ear shape, kind of like a triangle. And then smooth out any edges that you might have gotten a little out of shape. So squeezing those ears. Once you have those in a good shape, we're going to use the end of a paintbrush and just kind of push into the ear to give it a little bit of a shape there. You can see how it gives that indent. And then next we're going to work on the eyes of the owl. So we're going to use the end of the highlighter here, and we're going to stick one on one side. And now we don't want to crush the hole inside, so put your hand underneath when you push that end in. And again, we don't want to push it all the way through and make a hole, but we want to get those eyes marked in with the end. Next, we're going to use the end of a pencil and put that hole in there. Again, let's put our hand underneath so that we don't put a hole through there and it keeps it from collapsing. So that helps our eyes there. We're going to take a little bit of clay off of the bottom here. You don't need much. I'm just pulling a little bit off. Tap it back out to make sure it's still holding that flat shape. And then we're going to make this be the beak. So we're going to make a triangle with this part. So making that 3D triangle, I'm just squeezing it at one side, kind of like this. I'm going to tap the bottom of the triangle because that's where I want to attach it to the face. And where we do that, we want to do what's called score and slip. So we're going to take our pencil and draw some lines on there. And we're going to do that also on the face where we're putting that. Then we're going to take our water, put a little bit into that, and then we're going to stick that on, jiggle it till it sticks, and then you can leave that on there. That's kind of like our clay glue to keep everything together. So let me show you this way. See how it looks from the side? So you could do a smaller one. I wouldn't go any bigger than that. Sometimes they break off. Next, we're going to use our scissors to cut some wings here. So I just cut a little slit in that side. I'm going to cut a slit in this side, and then we're going to pull those out a little bit and then smooth out the bottom part. So this will be our wing. I'm going to go back and squeeze the head a little bit. I should have done that first. Squeeze the head here because we want the head to be a little skinnier at the neck and then the body to go wider. Then let's cut those wings again. So cut it, and then you can use your hand underneath if it's falling in to stick it out and start working on the shapes of those. So you do have to keep that hand underneath sometimes so that it doesn't collapse as you work. Just keep that in mind as you do that. Next, what we're going to do is use a tool that has a V shape on it. So it could be like the end here, or this one could have that V shape right here. And we're going to put the texture on the body. So we're going to start putting on, you can just gently push in like this and start making those feather shapes all the way to the bottom. Again, put your hand underneath so we don't collapse the opening that we created at the very beginning. We're going to put that texture all the way to the bottom. This is like our feathers. And then we're also going to do some on the wings. All right, I have finished all my feathers that I want to put on the front of the body and the wings. If you want to add more in the back, that's fine. Then we're going to just use some smoothing. So we want to just smooth out any edges that might not look so great. So I have a little crack here. I'm just going to try to smooth that gently. I do like keeping my hand underneath the whole time. That keeps me from collapsing. I'm not going to put any feathers in the back. I think that's another good place to put my name later. So Miss Erin will put your name on your clay once it's a little drier. So once you are completely finished, we're going to put these on the tray to dry, and then we will do glazing in a couple of weeks.